Brother Evans, because he was the first one to bring us here together at the Capitol. And
brought us down here big.
Appreciate his efforts, and he's also still working on this case very hard, and he's going to be very much involved in what we do into the future. I want to thank Gladys Clark, and I want to thank, of course, rank and file, most of all, for coming out here to support this effort. So give yourself a round of applause. You know, this is a country that incarcerates more people than any other country in the world.
That's right. That's right.
What the United States does, what the state of Mississippi does, is itself a crime.
That's right.
The governor of the state of Mississippi needs to be locked up
That's
for
right.
the number of people that he took to jail.
And for the number of people he set
You
free.
look at what's happening over there in Rankin County. You look at that woman's unit, and what you see is an active act of genocide. Genocide because they're locking up young women and estranging them from their children. And so not only are they killing the lives of these women, but they're killing the lives of these children. And we need to call an ace and a spade a spade.
That's right.
The Scott sisters is an important case because it dramatizes
Yes.
the ridiculousness and the viciousness of what they do. Because what we have here is a situation where, first of all, the young ladies are not guilty of what they're charged with.
That's right.
And secondly, even if they were guilty of what they're charged with, there's no way that any civilized law could put them in jail for over 15 years working on 2 life sentences. But look, this is an old story. This is not a new story. This is a story that's been here for centuries. This has been happening for centuries. And this is why we say not only free the Scott sisters, but free the land. We got to make major changes, not minor changes. We can't make minor appeals, but we got to make major changes. So what we have to do is to use this case to free these sisters, and at the same time to dramatize and this plight and make it understood internationally, nationally, and locally, the plight of our people right here in Mississippi and throughout this country. It is important that we grow this rally and grow this effort so that we can walk these sisters out of jail.
Yes. That's right.
The governor hadn't seen anything yet, right? It is important. If we can go over to Louisiana, to appear there on behalf of the Gen 6, then we've got to let the people of this country know that it's important for us to appear right here in Jackson, Mississippi. And it's important and it's appropriate that we span some decades in our effort here. It is appropriate that Charles Evans would take a leading role because Charles Evans is the brother of Medgar Evans. Right? It is appropriate that we reach to the people that we have worked with and on behalf of this movement, and because of this movement, they have obtained seats in this legislature here. It's only because of this movement that the first black since Reconstruction was put back in the legislature. And that's Robert Clark. Now we know that we have more black elected officials in the state of Mississippi than anywhere else in the country, right? So these officials have to show up, be counted, and stand up in order on this effort. And this is a message that we bring to these officials, and we want to come back here, with these officials, but you know how it is. The people shall always lead, right? And so when we bring thousands and thousands of folks to here, then you'll see every elected official in town, right? And so what we have to do is to make sure that our voices are clear. We got to make a clarion call to these DJs and radio stations and various people around the country. We have to, here again, honor Ms. Roscoe and those who have helped her for bringing it this far. Because they have kept the case alive. They didn't let it die when the Supreme Court rejected our appeal. They didn't let it die when the Supreme Court rejected our post-conviction motion. They kept it alive, and now we got to move forward. We're going to make a mark on this case that's going to make a statement to free the Scott sisters and let people know that it is nothing but savagery that you would have all these black women locked up in Rankin County in the state of Mississippi. Forced to live oppressed and unnatural lives, right? And so this is where we are. So I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank everybody who has spoken, who will speak for what they've done. I want to thank the sisters that worked so hard to bring this effort together right here in Jackson, as well as those who worked in other parts of the country, right? And so we're going to let them know that the power of black women will not be suppressed. The power of black women will not be destroyed. This is what you do when you commit genocide. First you lock the men up, right? You cripple the men. You force the women to become everything to the family. Become the home, they become the mothers as well as the fathers in the family. And then you begin to lock the women up, right? You do it quietly, you do it slickly. Right? And you even get us involved in the process. That's another thing we got to understand. They're in jail now not just because of white people, they're in jail because of some stupid people in our community, right? And we cannot allow that to happen. We can't allow people to betray what we have built and what we have created over the years. We can't allow the traitors to do this. And you can't sit on juries and send people to jail for 2 life sentences when they have not done anything worthy of that. Nobody was even hurt in this case, right? They got people killing people, murdering people, butchering people, and raping people, right? And they're not going to jail for those kinds of times, right? And because that they have a problem with the political work that their father has done, that's why they are being punished and prosecuted. And what they've done, because the judge and the rest of the whole establishment in that county, in Scott County, their whole thing was to send a message. They sending a message. And that message that they send still has the people of that county and counties surrounding that county intimidated, right? They're scared of the judge, they're scared of the sheriff, they're scared of everybody. And so when they come up into the courthouse, they've already compromised themselves. When they come up in there to sit on the jury, they're already afraid. They're already afraid to do what's right, and they're already being conditioned to do the wrong thing, right? So what we have to do is to show an effort which is strong enough to send a message back. We got to send a stronger message than they sent, right? And we got to let that message be heard personally to everybody in Scott County and anywhere else where we have this kind of problem, right? So thank you very much, and free the land.
Free the Scott sisters! Free the Scott sisters! And free the Scott sisters! Free the Scott sisters, Haley Barber! Free the Scott sisters! Free the Scott sisters, Chris Allen! Free the Scott sisters!
Next is going to be Brother David Muhammad from the Nation of Islam.
Greetings and assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
This case is so important for us to be a part of. The main thing that I would like to echo from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is that we can no longer be afraid.
That's right.
Those of us that think that this only happens to certain people, as Brother Shokwe said, there was nobody even injured. Because sometimes we think it has to be come to death or something like that, but they don't need an excuse to arrest us and jail us and imprison us. This has been going on for years. So I want us to echo that we cannot be afraid. We must get up from this point here. Those of us here are not afraid. But we got to echo it to those that are in our family. So we got to get up and stand up and do something now.
Black people.
Because it's going to be you tomorrow, me the next day, and it's going to continue to happen. We can't go in our closets and think it's going to go away.